What if I told you the most unthinkable move in NBA history is no longer unthinkable? For the first time ever, people around the league are openly questioning Stephen Curry's future with the Golden State Warriors. And not fans on Twitter, not hot take TV shows, but respected NBA voices. Because right now, the Warriors are unraveling, and Steph Curry might be running out of time. Let's talk about the idea that's shaking the NBA world. Steph Curry to the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah, that's Charlotte. At first it sounds crazy, almost disrespectful. But then Bill Simmons said something that made everyone stop and think. Are we at the point where Steph Curry to Charlotte, we should just do it? And suddenly the conversation changed. Because once you dig deeper, this idea starts making way more sense than anyone wants to admit. Steph Curry has been nothing but loyal to Golden State, through injuries, roster changes, championship highs, and painful lows. But loyalty doesn't mean endless patience. The Warriors are hovering around .500. Draymond Green just had another public blow-up. The supporting cast can't keep up, and the margin for error is shrinking. Steph is 36 years old. Time is no longer on his side, and that's exactly why Charlotte enters the conversation. This wouldn't just be a random trade, it would be a homecoming. Steph grew up in North Carolina. His father, Del Curry, became a franchise icon in Charlotte. There are literal photos of Steph as a kid shooting on that same court. For years, Curry has joked about finishing his career there. Back then, it felt like a fantasy. Now, it feels possible. Bill Simmons went even further. I don't think this Warriors team has any chance. Can we just do LaMelo and a bunch of picks, send Curry back to Charlotte, and let's just go? That's not a small statement. That's an admission that Golden State might be nearing the end of an era. And from a basketball standpoint, this actually works. Let's start with Steph Curry's perspective. Right now, he's still playing at an elite level. This season, he's averaging nearly 29 points per game, shooting almost 40% from three while carrying a massive offensive load. But championships aren't won alone. If Steph wants one final real shot at competing, he may need a fresh situation, one that isn't stuck between contending and rebuilding. Charlotte offers something Golden State no longer can: momentum. The Hornets are quietly trending upward. Young talent, athleticism, room to grow. Imagine Steph Curry leading a roster with Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and a young core that desperately needs leadership. Suddenly, Charlotte isn't a rebuilding team. They're relevant, they're respected, they're dangerous. Steph wouldn't just be a scorer there, he'd be the culture, the standard, the teacher. Now let's flip the camera to Golden State. As painful as it sounds, trading Steph might be the cleanest reset possible. A deal centered around LaMelo Ball, draft picks, and salary filler would instantly give the Warriors a young star to build around. LaMelo is flashy, marketable, still early in his career. Pair that with future assets and Golden State could finally commit to a full rebuild, instead of pretending the dynasty can still be stretched a little longer. If the Warriors also move Draymond Green, maybe even Jimmy Butler, suddenly the reset is complete. Painful? Absolutely. Necessary? Maybe. And that's what makes this conversation so powerful, because this isn't about betrayal, it's about reality. Dynasties don't fade gently, they end abruptly. The Lakers did, the Spurs did. Every great era eventually turns the page. The shocking part isn't that Steph Curry to Charlotte is being discussed. The shocking part is that it makes sense. For Steph, it's a chance to finish his career near family with a young team and a new purpose. For Charlotte, it's instant credibility, leadership, and the biggest star the franchise has ever had. For Golden State, it's the beginning of their next chapter. This trade is still a long shot, but if the Warriors continue to struggle, if the locker room tension grows, if the wins don't come, that long shot gets closer. And the fact that we're even having this conversation tells you everything you need to know. The NBA is changing, Golden State is changing, and Stephen Curry's future might not be as locked in as we once believed. So let me ask you this: if Steph Curry had one final chapter to write, would you want it to end where it began? Because the unthinkable might just be inevitable.